Yeah, awesome, mate. My next question to you is, what change would you like to see in the next year, both within yourself and the world around you?
What change would I like to see? I guess I sort of feel like through playing, getting picked up in the AFL maybe 10 or just over 10 years ago now, and being in the system for 10 years, just with everything, the changing landscape, media, social media, everything about that, it did change a hell of a lot in the 10 years I was in the game. And unfortunately, I feel like with media and social media in particular, I do feel like it's changed from really reporting good stories and things that happen to, unfortunately, really focusing on negative things that happen and really pumping up those stories. And I guess it's one that you sort of, it's the way that it's gone a little bit, and it's a little bit of the stigma around it. But I still believe that people love hearing good stories and love reading that, and it still sells. I think the media nowadays has gone very much down the path that a negative story sells way more than a positive story. And so I think with mental health, the way it's gone over the previous couple of years, people are starting to understand now that, okay, maybe your comments that you might think are very little, people do take on board. And it's not necessarily that we're more sensitive nowadays. I think it's because of the sheer magnitude of information out there and social media out there that people might have something negative happen in their life, and they might get whacked by 10 blokes, and they'll go, you know, I can cop that, but it might be the 11th person or the 12th person that sort of breaks the straw, I guess, and that's what sort of gets through to someone. And so I guess for me, I love reading about feel-good stories, and I'm obviously fortunate that I've been in one of them myself, and I love watching documentaries that are really happy stories and where you see someone achieve something, and they're the ones that I wish the world was more privy to. And so that's something that, if I could have a change, I guess it would be that I guess there's more positivity, I guess, in the media, and that's really driven home, because I feel like the media does influence a lot of people's opinions and perspectives. And one that springs to mind is the Adam Good story. And I was in Geelong when a lot of that happened, and then I went to Sydney last year when the documentary got released, and I couldn't believe the difference in media reporting in Sydney to Melbourne, and the difference in being in one club to the other, how much of an understanding you got, and how much, I guess you could be almost manipulated by the media and see something completely differently. And so that sort of opened my eyes that, okay, people have these opinions because they listen to high up people and they listen to what they say. And so things are reported in a much more of a positive matter and perspective, then that will shape people's opinions a lot more too. So I think just positivity when it comes to everything in sport and in AFL and in the world. And there's obviously going to be a lot of negative too, but it might just shape people's opinions a little bit more and allow people to understand where people are coming from.
Definitely. And I think particularly it's easier to utilize negative or hit pieces at times, or just negative articles, fear-mongering articles, because they sell. They're proven they're proven statistically rather to sell. And I've referenced this in like my last 2 episodes. I'll keep it really short because people are probably sick of me talking about it. But Daniel Menzel, I want you to have a guess at how many advertisements you will see a day. So the average person, how many ads do you reckon you see a day?
Maybe 50.
So I've got a stat. I'll link it down below again because I've done it like 3 in a row. It's really becoming my broken record cliche at this point, so I should shut the fuck up about it eventually. But we see between 4,000 and 10,000 ads per day.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's overloaded in every sense of the word. But well, that shows why obviously things sell and whatnot, because subconsciously you're not aware of it, but it is forced down your throat, I guess. So it is. I do absolutely understand that negative press sells 100%. I just think that positive stories do as well. And
completely, definitely.
And I think I'm a big fan of sports from around the world, which we touched on before. And I love how overseas, particularly in America, I think about NBA and NFL and these sort of sports, and they pump up the LeBron James, they pump up your Tom Brady's, they pump up the superstars, and I feel like although they do bring them down at times, it's very much how good is this guy, and over here we struggle to do that, and we feel like if we put someone on a pedestal, we need to bring him down to earth pretty quickly, and so
a bit of a tall poppy syndrome
is very much over here, and so that's something that I do love the way that America goes about it in that way, that they do really build up their best athletes.
And hopefully, particularly on your podcast, you can utilize that and find a way to pump up those Australian sportsmen just by, like you said, you got a great depth of knowledge when it comes to the media in America. So hopefully you can bring a bit of that over here, Daniel. I'm excited to hear myself. My next question for you